captains Pat Sullivan and Derek Prendergast lead out the teams for this Setanta Cup final. And Uachtaráin na hÉireann in attendance at the Tallaght Stadium. Always a welcome visitor to Irish football. It's a squally day in Tallaght Stadium as Shamrock Rovers kick off, playing from right to left in the first half. These two sides very much mid-table teams this season. Shamrock Rovers currently in 6th, Drogheda in 7th. McCook looking pensive as Sean O'Connor takes this corner. And Derek Foran does well to keep the move alive. Now, O'Connor with lots of space here. And it's come off the head of Chambers, and it's 1-0 to Shamrock Rovers. And Gabriel Sava feels his defender should have done better, or maybe he should have got to this himself. Brennan couldn't clear it, and it's over Sava and in. 12 minutes gone, 1-0. Fine tackle that by Danny Ledwith. And Chambers spreading it wide to Billy Dennehy. Great movement by Ledwith. Lots of space for him here. In comes the cross. Oh, it's come off the back of the defender, and a chance for Shamrock Rovers, and it's 2! Well, would you believe it? 2 goals in 2 minutes, and Sean O'Connor has really given Shamrock Rovers some breathing space. The mistake by Shane Grimes, and it's 2-0 to the hoops. Now the sun is out at the Tallaght Stadium, and this is a good move by Rovers, and Sheppard is in here, and it's 3! The Drogheda defence playing him on, and Sheppard makes no mistake. Just before half-time, surely the cup is staying in the Tallaght Stadium. And Sheppard sends it forward. Rovers just completely rampant here. And here's Ronan Finn. Oh, and he's beaten Sava at his near post. It was a fine strike, but perhaps the goalkeeper should have done better. 4-0 to the hoops. Well, it's one of those days when you start taking out the record books, because this is turning into a rout, and it's Billy Dennehy who's bursting down the flank, and here's Ronan Finn. Oh, good feet by him, and now it's 5. Well, Drogheda United torn asunder once again, and Finn with such quick feet, beating 2 or 3 players, past Prendergast and Byrne, and evading the challenge of Gannon. And this surely Rovers' best performance of the season so far. Trevor Crowley's best day as a manager, for sure. Good ball by Drogheda United. A rare attack for them. And it's flicked goalwards and off the crossbar. Dave Cassidy with the header. The follow-up by Gavin Brennan, and it's in. Gary O'Neill has got the goal after Brennan was set up by Fabio O'Brien. And a consolation for Drogheda at least. Again, too much space, and it's no offside here for Dennehy. And the keeper got his hand to it, but Dennehy has scored, and it's 6-1. The highest scoring cup final ever between 2 teams from the Republic of Ireland. Brilliant finish with his right foot. And that's Kilduff with the cross, and Dennehy has made it 7. A sad end for Drogheda United, but Shamrock Rovers won't mind. This their biggest ever win in a cup final, and the first trophy of the season will go to Trevor Crowley's side. The final whistle goes at the Tallaght Stadium, and it's Shamrock Rovers who have won the Setanta Cup for the 2nd time. Pat Sullivan lifts the trophy, and after trials and tribulations this season, it's a day of celebration in the Tallaght Stadium.
Yes, and Monday Night Soccer sends its congratulations to Shamrock Rovers, who pick up the first big domestic trophy of the season, and a fairly convincing victory over Drogheda United. I suppose the question some people are asking, Kenny, is for the 2nd time this season Shamrock Rovers have scored 7 goals, but there have been games, particularly in the league, where they can't buy a goal. What's the difference, do you think? How have they done it?
Well, I think there's a difference in terms of who was interested on the score sheet against Drogheda, who chipped in the goals. Ronan Finn again was prominent, scoring another 2 goals from central midfield, and even James Chambers. And that's going to be important, I think, for Shamrock Rovers, because they're only playing with 1 natural striker and 3 central midfield players. So those 3 central midfield players have a responsibility to get forward and chip in with their fair share of the goals. Ronan Finn's going to do that naturally, such as his talent. But have a look at James Chambers here. We don't see this too often, him getting himself high up the pitch. Not sure whether it comes off the back of his head or his ear here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He's in a position to get on the end of it, and that's important. We're going to see a goal here from Ronan Finn. He can score any type of goal, Ronan Finn. This is from distance, cutting in on his right foot, has the confidence to take the shot on. Normally, central midfield player, you'd be happy if he chips in half a dozen goals during the course of the season, Peter. Not at this lad. He should be chipping in with 10 to 15. He really is that good, and he has to do it because, like you said, Rovers' goal for column isn't good enough. 16 goals really isn't good enough. And if they're going to challenge for the title this year, that really has to improve. Look at the close control here from Ronan Finn. That's like the touch of a number 9 in a congested area surrounded by defenders, nimble feet, shifting it one way and the other, and then has the composure to drag it back across the goalkeeper. And that's going to be important if Trevor Crowley's going to persist with his 3 central midfield players and leave Mark Quigley on the sideline. They're going to have to chip in with a fair share of goals.
I think probably the latter goals there you probably can't look into too deeply. I mean, when they're so far ahead, I mean, you know, centre midfielders will be loving to go forward at any chance. There's no real risk of them, you know, losing the game or anything like that. But I think you're totally right. Going forward, Shamrock Rovers really need more goals from that area of the pitch. 16 goals just in the league. Yeah. You know, if they can't chip in with that, you know, who's to say that they can't get a run going, especially with this result under the belt. They actually could go and push the teams at the top. Yeah,
well, for the moment, Shamrock Rovers fans will be happy, but they'll certainly be hoping for a little more consistency in the league and a few more goals. Now, earlier today, Giovanni Trapattoni announced a provisional 28-man squad for the